Hello, I'm Brigantia Blackbird of the Blackbird Grimoire. Welcome to the daily forecast for Friday, December 6th, 2024. It is the 16th of Sagittarius and it is the day of beauty. And the reason why I chose this to be the day of beauty is because it's one of the things that the various goddesses of love that lend their energy to Fridays are known for. They're all known for their beauty, sometimes their beauty of appearance, and sometimes also, in addition to that, their beauty of character. And this is a rather lovely time of year. I like seeing the decorations. I like seeing the way things are arranged. I love the lights. There's so much beauty to enjoy. I mean, there'll be plenty of time to get into the very dark of winter where everything is very bleak and very bland and very simplistic and minimal. But right now we have an overabundance of beautiful things to enjoy. So that's where my head was at when I decided on this particular little name. Now, in our astrology, the sun is in Sagittarius, mutable fire, representing adventure. The moon is first quarter Aquarius, fixed air, representing individuality. And then at 6:01 p.m. Central Time, it will go void, of course, and remain void, of course, for the rest of the day. Mercury is in retrograde Sagittarius, mutable fire, which is travel disruptions. Venus is in Capricorn, cardinal earth, which is to be reserved. Mars begins the day in Leo, fixed fire, representing focus. And then at 5:33 p.m. Central Time, it goes retrograde in Leo, again fixed fired, and now it will represent tempered action. And Mars will remain in retrograde until February 23rd, 2025 at 8 o'clock p.m. Central Time. So get comfy, guys. This one's going to be with us a while. Jupiter is retrograding in Gemini, mutable air, which is to broaden perspective. Saturn is in Pisces, mutable fire, representing nostalgia. Uranus is retrograding in Taurus, fixed earth, representing rebellion. Neptune is retrograding in Pisces, mutable water, which is spiritual awakenings. Pluto is in Aquarius, fixed air, representing reformation. So let's look a little bit deeper into the Mars retrograde. So I have two cheat sheets for us. The first are lessons, which is assessing where and why we are feeling angry, recognizing how our emotions are powerful tools and insights, that it's okay for us to rest, learning to be open to new perspectives, learning to practice patience as a virtue under pressure, getting clarity before we react to a situation, giving other people the benefit of the doubt. And that is a huge one. I see a great need in my own personal life for that, and honestly, more broadly in society. Recognizing that rest helps our productivity, channeling our energy into our passions when we are being productive, and then to get clear on our why. And then a few other things to keep in mind is that understanding that we might have an increased anxiety, that we will need to be grounding ourselves, that we need to really take a very close look at our work life balance. If it is out of order, we need to get it into order. Understanding that we might be more prone to being disorganized and confused. So, working to stay on top of things. That'll be the pathway to sanity. Understanding that our motivation, energy, and drive might be a little bit compromised, which that's why I'm kind of glad that it's taking place now during Yule because, we should be a little bit more in rest mode. So maybe this will be a blessing in disguise. Um, Probably not the best time to begin great big new projects. You know, finish up the old, focus on seasonal things. But if for anything bigger, probably we want to get to the end of February or beginning of March before we get started on something really big. um, Refocus on what you're passionate about. Find healthy outlets for anger because we all get angry from time to time. It's how we express it that will determine whether or not it eats us alive, whether it causes damages to other, or if it is just released in a decent fashion. Learn to practice patience. Patience is the theme with this. Learning to sit with your emotions, not necessarily expressing them all over the place, but learning to sit with them and understanding that you are capable of being equal to your emotions, and your emotions do not have to take complete ascendancy over you. Uh, Again, emphasizing that need to rest and recharge, accepting that there will be delays and possibly restrictions, and just again, learning to have a better relationship with your own internal anger. This is what Mars retrograde is really all about. So, these are things to bear in mind over the next couple of months. So that brings us to our short form retrograde reminders. For Mercury, rethink communication patterns. For Mars, reconsider what you really want. That is a huge one, and that's working very well with Jupiter and reconnecting with your true path. And Uranus, reconsider how you bell. Neptune, reclaiming your magic. That's tying back in with Mars and Jupiter really well. As is Chiron, of restoring the heroic spirit. Sometimes we need to view ourselves as the hero of our lives in order to propel us forward, so understanding that we're capable of that, that can help us have the courage to make these assessments to begin with, but also to follow through with necessary action once we have decided where we're really going to be lining up, especially if we have big changes in store. Maybe we don't, maybe they're minor changes, but if they're big ones, we're definitely going to need to be bolstering our sense of personal heroism that yes, I can do this. I am equal to this task. I will take on this challenge. Then our moon, it is in first quarter, which is about creating action. But this evening we will be in the void, and the theme of the void moons is rest and recuperation. So do what you got to do before this evening, and this evening just pencil in relaxation. Venus in Capricorn is a placement that wants to remain in control, whereas the first quarter moon just wants to get going, and that desire will go unfulfilled once the moon goes void, of course, this evening. So don't fight it, just turn inward, focus upon your nearest and dearest while this conflict between the placement passes. Then our tarot is the Page of Gifts. Page represents innocence, openness, optimism, and enthusiasm. The suit of gifts aligns with the suit of pentacles and coins and the earth element. The keywords for the card are studious, determined, and devoted. This is very handy with us having that void moon this evening. This could be an excellent time for us to catch up on our studies or at least to read a good book, to focus a little bit more on our people. It's when we talk about devotion, it's about really to whom or to what are we devoted. And hopefully, for giving the energy of devotion, we're giving that to our family members, to people who are very near and dear to us, our friends, the people who really matter over the long haul. And so focusing on that, we have good energy conditions for that, especially this evening. And I think this is a good little nudge for us to kind of move ourselves in that direction. Then today's Celtic Triad reads three synonyms of wisdom: necessity, decency, and expediency. Wisdom really does have a strong streak of practicality, particularly when it comes to long-term thinking. If something is unwise, you can bet that it's only having short-term benefits, or if it's having long-term detriments, or it just simply is not workable. Wisdom is practical. Wisdom is also going to promote decency, and it is going to act decently. It is inherently about propriety in all situations. It's about what is the fitting thing. To do the fitting thing is to act with wisdom. And of course, expediency, wisdom does not procrastinate. What's right to be done cannot be done too soon. Now, this does not mean that we never rest. And indeed, this evening, we're going to be in rest mode, like it or not. But it is about not loitering, not saying, "Well, I guess I could do that tomorrow." No, if you do it, if you know what you need to do, go ahead and do it. Especially if you have some stolen time, get something crossed off of your to-do list. Take care of these things. Don't let things hang over your head. There's really no benefit to it. Then our correspondences today are all on the theme of friendship. The color is blue. And blue has a lot to do with healing and interpersonal relationships. So you're going to see that color come up frequently whenever you're dealing with friendship or, families or healing or anything of that general nature. The plant is the bluebell, and I think the bluebells just look friendly, but they are in the lore also associated with friendship. The animal's the dog, which you know, it's a reason why it's called man's best friend, or the connection between human beings and dogs, certainly in Western culture, is incredibly solid. They are our little furry companions. And the crystal is blue lace agate, which again is a promoter of the energies of friendship. And it is a busy time of year, but don't neglect your friends. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to bring up this theme, especially since it aligned with the color of the day. Make sure that you are taking care of your friendships and your family relationships and all of those good things, because life really has a lot to do with the quality of those relationships. And we neglect them at our peril. Then today's hearthkeeping hint, it's winter bedrooms. Not necessarily Yule bedrooms, although that is a part of it, but winter bedrooms in general. We should layer in heavier and warmer fabrics to shield us against the cold, even if you have excellent insulation and your windows and doors on the exterior are really shored up very good. It's still a good idea to layer in these warmer fabrics because even if the house is a reasonable temperature, psychologically we still feel the cold. We're still reacting to the cold outside, and so having those nice warmer things around us, it's comforting. Consider adding winter greenery or houseplants to give the space some life and to freshen the air. That's good in general, but especially in winter when more often than not, we're probably not going to have a whole lot of days where we can crack open a window and let in the fresh air. Probably not going to happen. I've heard that this December is supposed to be pretty chilly. So we are going to be, confined. So having some house plants that refresh the air, very practical, and it's also good for the energy. And also, speaking of the energy, burn incense to cleanse that energy frequently, and there's a host of different incenses that will serve that purpose perfectly adequately. So those are a few things to bear in mind. And then for our practice, Yule trees, all evergreens are suitable, but especially cedar, fir, pine, and spruce. Whatever your heart desires, those are really ideal trees for it. What kind of tree do you have? Even if you have an artificial tree, what species does it emulate? What kind of tree do you prefer for your Yule tree? Let me know in the comments. Today's a good day to spoil your sweetheart. And again, it doesn't mean that you spend a bunch of money on them or you go over the top with anything, but just do something nice for them. And that's all. Then our archetype for today is a winter couple. When it's cold outside, it is a good time for romance. So thinking about fun things that couples can do together, it might help you reinvigorate your own relationship. Or if you have an evening away from your children, it's not a bad idea to have a few things that you have in mind to do. And then for meditation, you might think about the theme of the warmth of the heart because it's cold outside, but we are generating heat within ourselves, both literally and figuratively. So thinking about that could be quite fruitful. And today, you might choose to carry or wear amethyst. In our creative quarter, one of the treats that I really enjoy every year in December is getting to admire the lights and the decor that other people have on and around their houses. It's fun for me because today's color of the day is blue. I went and found blue decorations just so everything was cohesive today. But even if our decor outside is just a humble and simple wreath on the front door, I think it's good for us to do what we can to beautify how our home appears at this time. It's getting into the spirit of things. I think it's very community minded, and it's just fun. And again, if all you can do is just you have a wreath and that's it, that is perfectly fine, because it shows that you are making the effort. You're in the spirit. You have the right intentions. And for people who can go all out and do a whole bunch, well, I mean, just enjoy the show. I've never understood people feeling envious because someone could do more than they could, because I think it's an opportunity to, at the very least, admire the hard work that it took to actually create the display. And if it's really aesthetically pleasing, getting to enjoy that. I think it's possible for us to get beyond the childishness of envy. Then for today's journal prompt, when was the last time you made a new friend? And we're so atomized. At some point, we're going to probably decide that we don't actually want our civilization to collapse around our ears, and that's going to mean reinvesting in human relationships, the ones that already exist and the ones that we can make. So, kind of journal about when was the last time you made a new friend, what you cherish about that person, and also maybe think about. How maybe you can continue to cultivate other relationships. I don't think that being alone or nearly alone is any kind of ideal. And I think that the romanticization that's gone on about that over the past few decades, I think that has run its course. So let's try and set a new tone for ourselves. So on that note, have a magical day, everyone. I wish you the bright blessings and all of the joys of the season. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next one.